Registration after birth and birth certificate. Every birth must be registered in Germany. You do that in the civil registry office, called Standesamt. Every city has its own civil registry offices. These public authorities are responsible for documenting births, marriages, and deaths. For example, in Stuttgart, different civil registry offices are responsible for different districts. Which office you need to go to depends on where the baby was born. In Stuttgart, it is regulated as follows. When you gave birth in the Frauenklinik, the Marienhospital, or the Charlottenhaus, you have to go to the civil registry office in Stuttgart Mitte. When you gave birth in the Robert Bosch Krankenhaus or the St. Anna Krankenhaus, you have to go to the civil registry office in Bad Cannstatt. Now you will see the addresses in the video and in the brochure. The progress of registering birth and issuing birth certificates at the Civil Registry Office is regulated by German laws and guidelines. However, the Registry Office also needs to consider that the documents you turn in come from your country of origin. These documents are often different from the German documents, so it's important for the Civil Registry Office to look at each individual situation and consider things like: which documents do the child's parents have? What is their material status and country of origin? It is helpful to go to the Civil Registry Office before your child is born to find out what documents you'll need to have to register your child's birth. You need to understand German well to understand what they tell you, so it is important to bring someone along to the office who can help you. This makes the process easier. What is a birth certificate? What do you need it for? When a birth is registered, the registry office makes an entry in the register of birth. They record the personal information for the child, mother and father. Personal information includes name, date of birth, place of birth, religion, nationality, marital status, and ancestry. The Civil Registry Office issues a birth certificate from the Register of Birth. A birth certificate is an official document. It proves that the child was born in a German city. It is the most important document. It serves as a proof of identity. It certifies the baby was born to the parents listed on the certificate. You need it for many other documents. Once you have a birth certificate, you can get a taxpayer identification number for the child. You need this number, for example, when applying for the parental allowance. In German it's called Elterngeld. And family allowance. In German it's called Kindergeld. You also need it to register for health insurance. What do I have to do to register my child? In the hospital, you get a piece of paper. On this piece of paper, you have to write down the name of the child and sign it. The midwife writes down the time of birth. Then the hospital informs the Civil Registry Office about the birth of your child. When you are back home, you must go to the Civil Registry Office within a few days to register your child. You don't need an appointment. Just go during regular office hours. You can see the hours listed in the video and in the brochure. Sometimes you have to wait. Often you also get a letter from the Civil Registry Office. The Civil Registry Office requests that you register your child. You need several documents to register your child. Which documents do I need? You need the passports from the child's mother and father. You need the mother's and father's birth certificate. The birth certificate must be an original. It has to be translated in German. The translation has to be done by an officially sworn translator. You also need your marriage certificate. If you are divorced and therefore no longer married to the baby's father, you also need your certificate of divorce. These documents also have to be originals and translated into German by an officially sworn translator. If you are widowed, which means your husband has died, you need a certificate of death and your marriage certificate. This document also has to be original and translated into German by an officially sworn translator. According to German law, if a woman has a child, her husband is considered to be the father of the child. If the parents are not married, the child receives the mother's surname. If the parents have no marriage certificate, the child also receives the mother's surname. If the parents want to change that, they have to turn in an acknowledgement of paternity. An acknowledgement of paternity means that a father officially declares that he is the child's father. The mother officially agrees. An acknowledgement of paternity can sometimes be done at the Civil Registry Office. Sometimes the Civil Registry Office sends you to the Youth Welfare Office. In German it's called Jugendamt, to do the acknowledgement of paternity. The Youth Welfare Office can also give you joint custody of the child. If you have already submitted your documents to the Immigration Office, the Civil Registry Office can directly ask the Immigration Office for the documents. Sometimes they check if the documents are correct and authentic, depending on the certification in the country which issued the documents. There may be a fee for this process and can take many weeks or months. Before you want to register your child, you can ask at the Civil Registry Office whether your documents need to be checked. The Civil Registry Office does not keep your documents. They make certified copies and then give the documents back to you. If a document needs to be checked, the Civil Registry Office keeps it while it is being checked. Afterwards, you will get it back. Which document do I get for my child? When the Civil Registry Office has all necessary documents, you will receive the birth certificate. If you do not have all documents yet, but if it is possible to get the documents soon, from the BAMF or the country of origin, you will receive a preliminary certificate. Unfortunately, this certificate can't be used for all agencies. If you want a preliminary certificate, you have to ask the Civil Registry Office for it. It is free of charge. If it is not possible to obtain the required documents from the country of origin, or if it takes too long, you will receive a certified copy of the birth register. This copy is equivalent of a birth certificate. However, it will be noted that your identity is not proven. Important: it's always possible to get some sort of document for your child. Sometimes it just takes a while. The surname of the child and a note identifying not proven can be changed later if the identity has been proven. This video was produced by students of Esslingen University in context of a project. The text was written autonomously and published after consultation with the appropriate institutions. No responsibility is taken for the correctness of this information, as well as for the translation. In the video, you will now see the sources used for this text.